So the president of Japan, Shinzo Abe, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right, said some things about the Syrian refugee crisis at his UN speech recently. He announced that he would be sending a 1.6 billion dollars in new assistance to Syrians and Iraqis caught up in conflicts in the Middle East and whatnot, which is of course wonderful. But he also said that Japan will not be accepting any Syrian immigrants. Now, usually if a country says that, I would be totally up in arms about it, but I think Japan actually made a really good decision here, and that's why I'm making this video, because I want to comment on basically give him props for it. But this is what he had to say about not accepting any immigrants here. I would say that before accepting immigrants or refugees, we need to have we need to have more activities by women, elderly people, and we must raise our birth rate. There are many things that we should do before accepting immigrants. Now, some people might say that this is selfish. They're just thinking about themselves and not thinking about these people in these war-torn regions. Japan is a crazy, insanely economically prosperous first world nation. Now, um, no, I see. Japan is. I think this is a really smart move because Japan is having a lot of problems right now, mainly with population. Their population is pretty much on a decline right now. It's either stagnant or decline. I think it was like it's declining a bit. Just well, in birth rate is declining a bit, not like the actual population, but the birth rate isn't really growing anymore. And so that's sort of happening, and at the same time, it's an overpopulated country. So there's high population density and low birth rate. So they're having a lot of problems of their own there, plus with tensions with China and whatnot, and just they can't really afford to take in a bunch of Syrian refugees. But at the same time, they announced 1.6 billion in new assistance for refugees, which I think was a great way of being sincere that they want to help the people rather than just coming out and saying that we're not going to let them in. So this is what he had to say about where the money will be going. Japan would like to contribute by changing the conditions that give rise to refugees. The cause of this tragedy is the fear of violence and terrorism, and terror of poverty. Poverty. The world must cooperate in order for them to find a way to escape poverty. So basically, he's saying that he wants to sort of get at of the source of the refugees first before taking in refugees. Now, like I said earlier, if any other country did this, it wouldn't really make sense. But with Japan, or like if India did or China did this, it would also make sense for them considering they have massive populations and they're having problems managing it. But yeah, in short, Japan made a really nice call here, and I just want to give them props for it. If you want to read more in depth on this whole speech that Abe gave and the whole situation, there are two articles in the description below, one from The Guardian, one from the New York Times, and that's it. I'm sorry I stumbled over my words a lot in this video. I'm still new to the whole commentating game here. So, thank you for watching, and this is Luke from Electric Vent saying goodbye.